the Wolves are waiting to meet with DAngelo Russell. That's a meeting that's supposed to be taking place in a little under a half hour. It's supposed to be right at 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central. It is in LA, so it'll be at 3 o'clock West Coast time. That's what we're all waiting for. That is not the biggest domino yet to fall because that's Kawhi Leonard, but DAngelo Russell is the domino here in the Twin Cities that people care about the most. That is the domino that's going to matter here.
It totally is, and that's the one that everybody here is going to keep an eye out for. And I think now that we know where Kyrie Irving is headed, and now we know that Kevin Durant is going to be joining him, it will be interesting to see how this meeting goes. Depending on what happens with Kawhi Leonard, if Kawhi Leonard goes to the Lakers, I think that is as annoying and as frustrating as that may sound big picture wise for the NBA, because you would be talking about 3 of the top 5 players on the planet playing for the Lakers. That would be a really good sign for the Wolves.
Everything so far that needed to go the Wolves' way has gone the Wolves' way, not just in terms of the DAngelo Russell contract or his free agency, but having Kyrie go to Brooklyn was the first step. Durant going to Brooklyn is nice. It wasn't necessary, but it was nice. The Kawhi Leonard to the Lakers thing would help quite a bit. But also, in a way, Terry Rozier to the Hornets is a good thing for the Wolves because, the Knicks didn't get to spend money on them. The Suns didn't get to spend money on them. That helps to keep open a potential destination for the Wolves to give Jeff Teague or Andrew Wiggins, a team that could get desperate to try and make a move, to bring in some sort of talent. And those two guys are talented, no doubt about it. They just haven't been what they've needed to be.
I wonder with Phoenix if that's the place that seems to make the most sense. If you're trying to unload Jeff Teague's contract and you are trying to maybe facilitate a 3-team deal with the Nets to bring DAngelo Russell here, it seems like it would make the most sense for a team like Phoenix, who is looking for a veteran point guard. They're not going to be players in terms of getting DAngelo Russell. With Darren Collison retiring and Ricky Rubio possibly going to the Indiana Pacers, if the Phoenix Suns are looking for a veteran point guard, and now you got Terry Rozier off the market, if the Suns are looking for a veteran point guard, it's slim pickings now at this point. So to me, it seems like the Suns are going to be a logical choice to try and facilitate a 3-team deal here if the Wolves are trying to get DAngelo Russell to ship off Jeff Teague out to Phoenix.
Really, point guard wise, left, Ricky Rubio is looking like Indiana. Malcolm Brogdon's the question mark. He's a restricted free agent from the Bucks. Don't know if they'll match what the number is that they'll walk away from, but he's the biggest name that's really still out there in terms of free agent point guards, right?
Yeah, well, boy, if somebody swoops in with a huge offer for Malcolm Brogdon and the Bucks decide to match that, when you look at what they've re-upped on Brook Lopez, they've re-upped on Chris Middleton. If they match a deal for Malcolm Brogdon, that's a very, very it's still a really good Bucks team, but it's a very, very expensive Bucks team as well. And you're essentially kind of running it back with the same group that got to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I just still wonder, what is the ceiling beyond that, especially if you get Kawhi to somehow stay back in Toronto. Now, maybe if Kawhi goes to the Clippers or if he goes to the Lakers or something like that, that could change things in the Eastern Conference. Maybe that increases the opportunity for the Bucks to maybe get over that hump that they fell short of this year. But boy, if they match a deal for Brogdon, you are looking at a really, really, really expensive Milwaukee Bucks team.
And you don't know that they'll ever be able to get better than they were.
Right.
They might have just had the best version of themselves, and you don't know that they'll be able to get better. And that would be something that's worried me, especially because you strip away your future flexibility by doing this. They're already not going to be flexible. They're going to be expensive. They're going to be in the luxury tax. It's going to be ridiculous. Here on Score North 1500, we're still awaiting DAngelo Russell news. He is going to be meeting with the Minnesota Timberwolves shortly after the top of the hour. We believe we'll be taking you up until at least 7 o'clock tonight. Danny Cunningham and Manny Hill with you. The free agency frenzy has already begun. So far, what we know, Kyrie Irving to the Nets on a 4-year, $141 million deal. Kemba Walker will be replacing him in Boston with the Celtics. Kristaps Porzingis is going to re-sign with the Mavericks. That's pretty well known. Damian Lillard signed the Super Mega Max or whatever we're calling it, but that man's getting like $47 million a year. So he's getting absolutely paid. Harrison Barnes to the Kings, 4 years, $85 million. Jonas Valanciunas to the Grizzlies on a 3-year, $45 million deal. Klay Thompson going to be staying in Golden State. Kevin Durant signing with the Brooklyn Nets on a 4-year, $161 million deal. DeAndre Jordan also going to the Nets. Terry Rozier to Charlotte, 3 years, $58 million. Chris Middleton back to the Bucks on a 5-year, $178 million contract. And Brook Lopez sticking in Milwaukee on a 4-year, $52 million deal.